Hello and welcome to the Interactive and Immersive HQ. My name is Marco and you might know me from my own YouTube or Instagram channel named Reflect. And in this video tutorial today I want to show you how you can create these surface trails inside any 3D geometry. Yeah, so I used a 3D model of a banana here, but you can also connect your own 3D models or just some basic geometry that you can create in TouchDesigner. The network is mostly done in POPs, and the most important operators here are, for example, the RayPOP. We will have a look into it, the TrailPOP, and we will also learn how to skin these trails using the CopySop and the skin pop. It's basically a pretty simple network and you can easily adjust it to create different effects. But yeah, more to this later. Alright, then let's start by dropping your 3D model. Yeah, like I said, I'm using this banana here. The link is also in the description, but you can also import your own. And first let's add a normal pop in case your model doesn't have normal attributes, and also a null. And the second thing we need is a point generator. So I'm just going to use a sphere here, and maybe let's start with 1000 points. Well, and now we are already getting to an interesting part, and this is the RayPOP. So it basically takes the normal vectors from your first input. In this case, it's here our point generator, and then it calculates where they hit your 3D model from the second input. So in this case, our banana here. As you can see now, we have points here that are basically on the surface, on the inside the surface of our 3D model. To make it easier to understand, let's make the normals visible. So you can just activate the viewer here, right click, and then activate the N point here under display attribute vectors. And now you see all these arrows here, arrows, yeah. And that they are pointing all in different directions. Okay, and we can also, maybe let's animate this with a transform and just write abs time.seconds in one of the rotate fields here. Maybe let's multiply it by 100, so maybe by 10, so it's a bit faster. And as you see now, the points generated by the RayPOP, they're moving. Well, and that's because our generated points are also moving. And then of course, points are pointing in a different direction. Yeah, and depending where these vectors hit the kind of skin of your 3D model, we will get new points. And of course, that also means if you increase the number of points or decrease the number of points in your point generator, you will get more or less points out from the RayPOP. Okay, next let's add a trail pop to, well, it basically says what it does, to create trails from our moving points. Okay, now in the next step, I want to skin these trails and make them look nicer. Yeah? So for that, let's start first with a copy pop, and let's create a simple circle here that we connect to the first input, and let's also let's make the radius smaller to 0.02, 0.02, and connect the trail to the second input. And as you can see now, At each point position, we create a circle now. Yeah, it's basically like instancing. Okay, but right now, all these points, they have the same size, and yeah, I want them to be small in the beginning and in the end, and a bit larger in the center. Yeah, that way we can create a super smooth skin later on top of it. Okay, so let's make a little bit of space here because we need to add some operators. And at first, let's right click and insert a line resample. Line resample pop, so that we can control how many points each line is made of. Yeah? So let's set the resample method here to divisions per line strip, and then choose the amount of divisions you want each line strip to be. Yeah? So I'll just set it to 50 now, so it's going to be smooth lines. You can see if you set it down, they get more edges as you can, well, as they are made out of less divisions. So I'm just going to set it to 50. And next we are going to insert a line matrix pop there. And this will add attributes that we will need to calculate the scale of each of the rings, so that we get, like I said, a small beginning and then a little bit wider center and then a small end of the lines again. Yeah, basically it will add data that tells us the distance between each point and the distance to the start and end of the line, as well as a directional vector towards the previous point of the line. So for that, let's activate the displacement to previous here. And under the line strip, let's activate distance from start and distance from end normalized. And now that we have these attributes, we can use a math combine to multiply the distance start normalized and the distance end normalized. And that will result, or this result we will save in a new attribute called point scale. So to do that, let's set the operation here to A multiplied by B, and A, we will choose the distance start normalized and B, the distance end normalized, and let's call the result point scale. Okay, now we have all the data we need to make this the copies of the circles here way smoother. So we just need to activate under the template tab, the template scale. And as you can see now already, here the beginning and the end of each line is made out of small circles, and the center is a little bit bigger. And let's also activate the template rotate to vector, and let's choose this one here. So that way all the points are now also, when they are making curves, they are facing to the previous point, just to make it look even smoother. Okay, now we can easily add a skin pop, and you see we are getting these smooth skinned lines now. Let's also add a normal pop and maybe also a lookup texture just to give it some color. So let's create a ramp here with some banana-ish colors. So yellow and maybe a bit of orange here. Just drag and drop it under the top. Why does it not? I don't know, I'm just going to write it here. And let's choose a normal as an lookup index attribute here. Oh yeah, and the output attribute scope, we need to choose color to make it work. And as you can see, now our skinned line strips. They have the color from our ramp. Okay, and now we need to render this whole thing. So let's add a null and connect this to a geometry comp. And then just create a standard render setup with a light, a camera, of course a render top. Yeah, let's adjust the camera position here so that we can see. Okay, let's also add a black background with an RGB key. And we can also add, to make it look a little bit nicer, a bloom top. All right, and of course we can adjust the radius here to make the lines a bit bigger. And yeah. So now what you can also do to kind of, well, you can render the original 3D object here. So yeah, let's use a select and just select our banana from the beginning. And let's also plug it into a geometry. And create a second render for that. And the first render is only there for the rays, and the second one is for the original banana. Oh yeah, you can also maybe just make a copy of this lookup texture here and plug it in to give the banana also some color. And now you can overlay them with a composite. Maybe let's also add a level here so we can control the opacity. And no, let's set it maybe to over. Let's output this here. And adjust the opacity a bit. Okay, as you can see, we have some rays that are outside of our 3D model here. On the bottom you can see it. So let's have a look how we can fix this. Yeah, this is very likely because our points from our point generator, they are placed outside, partly outside of our 3D model. So if we move it up a little bit, maybe to the center, now you can see that all the rays are inside. Okay, you can also rotate the other axis here to get different effects. And of course, now you can just play around here with the point generator. Yeah, choose different shapes to just make it your own. Or you can, for example, we can add a noise. To make the ray points a bit more noisy. And just make it your own.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like our YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out the Interactive and Immersive HQ Pro. The HQ Pro is the only comprehensive educational resource and community for immersive design, TouchDesigner, and creative tech pros. In the HQ Pro trainings, we cover almost any topic you can think of, and we go way more in depth than we do in our YouTube tutorials. We have a private group where Matthew Reagan, myself, and our other industry veteran and pioneer teachers answer your questions every single day. If that sounds cool, click the link in the description to learn more. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more free TouchDesigner and immersive content.